Hey everybody, Heather with Rafferty Refined, everything you need to refine your skills as a chalk painting artist. So in this week's makeover, we're actually doing a dresser that I've been really wanting to do for a very long time, so I'm super excited about it. So with this project, we're going to be covering a few key points that I feel like a lot of us run into when we refurbish furniture, and that is some broken veneer that needs to be repaired and what primer to use with dark paint. So with that aside, we'll also be doing a Gilding Wax decorative finish, which is really fun for that extra pop. And I got one bonus tip for you on how to clean your hardware without vinegar. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off by taking out all the drawers. Now we're going to pretty much have these out until the very end. So it's a good idea to write down the numbers on the back so they don't get mixed up on where they belong in the piece. I'll be keeping the original hardware for this project, so I'll just be removing them to clean them separately. So we got all of our little hardwares off. Now they are super rusted, but if you look closely, you can see all this beautiful detail around the edges. So I'm sure once we get these really cleaned and spruced up, they're going to look gorgeous. I'll be using some Dixie Belle White Lightning today, just for some of the cleaning. I like to use it in a little spray bottle. It helps mix it up pretty easily if you just give it a shake, and then you can just spray it down where you want it. I'm using this fabulous little brush I found at the grocery store in the dollar section. It is perfect for getting into these little divots and tracks. It just makes cleaning a piece like this such a breeze. After everything had time to dwell, I just went around with some microfiber gloves and wiped everything down. As I was cleaning, I noticed some lifting veneer. So what I like to do in these cases is just go along kind of like a pre-scuff with the sanding block. And what I'm going to be looking for is any other raised bits. So going along the surface, lightly scuffing it, you can see by what that powdery debris that it kicks up where the veneer is lifted. So it kind of gives you a really cool indication without doing too much damage. You would just want to graze the surface with your sandpaper, letting it find the imperfections for you. I wanted to point out, as you can see, that this veneer is a bit parched. There's a misconception that if it's veneer, it's not wood. Veneer is a very thin sheet of real wood, but because it's so thin, kind of like the size of your thumbnail, it will give over time, and it does break under pressure, meaning we start to see this lifting that happens over a period of time with pieces. And also, if you sand it too much, you'll break it and you'll get the splitting, which will cause a bigger mess. So with this piece, we can definitely preserve this and save it with some paint. So yay for paint! When you patch up broken veneer like this, it's important to not only go by sight, but also by how it feels. If it feels a little airy and squishy to the touch, then some options are you can chip it back until you reach a solid point, or you're going to have to find a way to kind of squish some glue down in there and clamp it shut, and then you seal it after it dries. Now time for the fun part. We're going to fill it all in. Now you see I have a little popsicle stick at the bottom of this furniture leg. I use these to help me keep structure as I'm patching, kind of like a temporary brace while you're using your filler. We'll be using the Zinsser Bullseye 123 primer in the color gray. I'm using this primer because we'll be painting in a darker color today, and this primer is specifically for darker paint colors. I do like to use a foam roller when I can for priming, but every so often I do have to use a brush. So I'll be going around the edges with a chip brush and getting into all those divots. We'll be painting in the color Deep Sea by Long Legacy Paint. When I'm trying to achieve a very smooth finish, I like to sand my primer before I paint. So I've already done that. We have our mister bottle and our brush and our paint, so let's get started. Always starting off by misting my brush and working that water into the bristles, and I also mist the surface that I'm going to be working on. So when you're about to do your one final pass to smooth it all out, a really helpful way, if you don't want to mist the entire surface again, you can use your brush and mist that. And then just go ahead and give it a gentle swipe across the surface. So this obviously dried a little bit, but by just using water as you paint, helps you create that really smooth finish from front all the way down. In order to prevent buildup along edges, it's a good idea to start an inch or two before the edge when you lay on your paint, and then as you work out your paint along the surface, you can go back to the edge and just smooth it out that way. Here we have our second coat. So we can kind of see that it's a bit patchy, but the second coat is totally going to cover all that up quite nicely, and we're not going to have to worry about any of those exposed brush strokes and bits of those lighter elements poking through. My husband absolutely hates the smell of vinegar. If I clean hardware in vinegar, it's not a good day for him. So in ordering to keep the peace in the house, I'm just kidding, it's not that bad, but I love my husband, so there are other ways of cleaning hardware other than using the classic boiling it in vinegar or soaking it in vinegar. So I will show you another way just in case you don't like the smell of vinegar either. If you're going to be fully restoring your hardware, I would suggest using Barkeeper's Friend. It's an acidic cleanser, so it's made for removing that rust. So today I'm actually going to be using Comet, which is bleach based, but they're both abrasive powdered cleansers, so it's going to get the job done fairly nicely for what I personally need it for. But again, if you're going to want to remove all that rust, then go ahead and grab yourself some Barkeepers because it's going to be your friend. I let the hardware soak in the Comet for about 15 minutes in that bucket, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use that powdered cleanser with the toothbrush and give it a good scrub. Rinse them afterwards and just pat them dry. We'll be giving them a nice mist of Rust-Oleum metallic finish in gold. I always do a little test spot first just to see if the pigment's there, and do a couple like mists and then wait for it to dry, flip it over, and then do a couple more. Again, when trying to achieve really smooth finishes, it's important to sand in between your coats and right before your top coat. So that is what I'm doing right now. Just giving all those surfaces a nice even pass through with a 320 grit sandpaper before we're on to our top coat. Typically with darker paint colors, when you go to sand them, you'll get this white chalky finish. It does go away when you put on your top coat, so don't worry about it. We'll be using some Behr Furniture Wax today. With darker paint colors, it helps to add a little bit of that pigment to the wax, so that way it just helps that wax blend in easily to your surface. I think of adding the wax like kind of lotioning up your piece. So you kind of start rubbing it in a little bit into the surface, and then you smooth it out along your piece, and that's what really creates that seamless look. While we have our drawers out, I noticed that the tracks and the inside on the sides are a bit parched. So I'm using the Wise Owl Furniture Salve to rehydrate that wood. That helps with the traction when you open and close those drawers. Time for the finishing touch. We'll be using Sloan's Gilding Wax in the color Bright Gold. I'll be starting off with the border first. I like to use my finger and the brush as I work, so you'll see me alternate between both of those. I'll apply this first layer and then come back in about an hour or two and apply a second layer, and that's going to give me some pretty solid coverage. I wanted to incorporate the gold gilding wax in the sides of the drawers, but I didn't want to do something too dramatic. So I just found a tiny little stencil that would add just the right pop, and it really shows how well this gilding wax works against bare wood. Okay guys, here it is. I really hope that you enjoyed this week's makeover with this darker paint color and gold gilding wax. Furniture makeovers are something that you enjoy, as well as learning different tips and tricks to refine your skills along the way. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out when I upload a new video, and jump right into any of these next videos to continue the fun on refining your skills as a chalk painting artist. I'll see you there. Bye guys.